Hi everybody, Hair here, and here we are to talk about the Kings offseason, Sacramento Kings offseason, 2023-2024 offseason preview. What should we do? What shouldn't we do? Trades, pickups, acquisitions, cuts. What do we do? Just my opinion. Here's opinion. Obviously, we need to upgrade at a power forward position. I guess small forward / power forward, wing position. Even center at that point, if you put Sabonis to the 4. But we need help with that. And even to an extent, you can talk about the 2 spot. I mean, Herter's great. Herter's great. He's a great shot. Didn't come in the playoffs, but I expect him to do better. But we can always ramp up the bench and see what happens with that. We have a lot of important decisions to make. Harrison Barnes is an unrestricted free agent, so we can let him walk or re-sign him. I hold him to a different benchmark than Herter and the rest of the guys. So Herter and them are 24 and under or whatever. Barnes is 30 plus, and he did not show up for the playoffs. He was abysmal. It was horrible. He held us back. He didn't even play really in Game 7 of the playoffs. Not saying it's all on him. We had a lot of other guys to blame as well. But Barnes is our leader. He's our veteran leader. And he just did not. He's not 40 like LeBron almost. He's early 30s. And again, he didn't contribute at all. And if it's Herter, like I said, he struggled hard too. Monk here came and disappeared. Monk was fantastic. Those guys are very young. I think they will come through. They will show up next year. Talking more about Herter than anything. Even Keegan, he's a rookie, and he had 2 showout games. The rest were disappearing acts. But Barnes, you can't afford to do that. I don't want to. I might be overreacting, but unless it's a cheap deal, even like in the 10, 12 million mark per year, I don't want to see. He needs to have a pay cut. He's not. He knows he's not contributing anymore. If anybody wants to give him that, by all means, take it. But he didn't show up when we needed him at all in the playoffs, and you need that from your veterans, from your contributing veterans. He's not a Haslam type guy. He's a contributing veteran, and he did not contribute. Get a lot of disappearing acts in the regular season. I'm okay with letting him walk or signing him to a minimal deal. Not a minimum deal, a minimal deal. Something in the 10, 12 million mark, I guess. But he's coming off the bench. If we want to be better, he can't start anymore. We need a better small forward wing to start. So that's my thoughts on Barnes. Lyles, I would love to keep. I think he's a great spark off the bench. Maybe he's in the 8 to 10 million mark. He said already he 1,000% wants to be back in Sacramento. I think Lyles is fantastic when we play small ball. He plays small ball center. He has attitude. He has grit to him. He can hit the 3. Trey Lyles is awesome. I would love to keep him in the 8 to 10 million mark. Metu, I don't anticipate him staying on the squad much longer. Rashawn Holmes, I think the Kings would love to move him because he's getting paid a pretty good amount of money, and he's not contributing to this team anymore. He's not part of the team anymore. He didn't even sit on the bench in the playoffs. He sat on the second row with the coaches. There's not a spot for Rashawn Holmes anymore, unfortunately. So we're going to look to trade him, but I think he might be difficult to move. So maybe we'll try to have him play again in some different type of role. Maybe he'll work with the coaches. Maybe he'll work with Brown, and they'll put him in a position where he will be used. Who knows? But I expect them to move on from his contract by trading him so we can get something else with that cap space. But it's going to be difficult to move, so we'll see. I'd love to keep him if he can start rebounding, blocking shots, and all that. But again, I don't see it happening just because of the direction of our team. Keon Ellis and the shot blocker, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name, but 88. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name, but I think they will become contributors soon, just because they had good seasons in the G League, and you just expect them to keep getting better. But the number 88, who I don't know why I'm blanking on him right now. To me, he's very slow, and his feet aren't fast at all. And that's to me what plagues him for the league. The G League is a lot slower than the NBA. We'll see. Keon Ellis, to me, he can be very good. I feel like he can. I mean, if he gets really good on defense, he can be like a Mitchell that can shoot. Not as good as Mitchell on defense, but I have high hopes for Keon Ellis. The draft, it's funny right now they have Chris Murray, Keegan's brother, going 24th, around there, 22nd to 24th. Kings are picking 24th. If we can have another Keegan Murray, because he didn't develop as fast as Keegan, but if we can draft Chris and he's in that Keegan, level, I mean, we'd have snipers. We'd have Herter, Keegan, and Chris shooting lights out from three, and then you have Sabonis and Fox. And Fox has a lot better shot now too. So that would be fantastic to pick up Chris Murray, have him come off the bench, just be a spark from the three. Him and Monk, and even maybe Keegan if we can upgrade more of the positions. But I would love to get Chris Murray, and I think Keegan would love that too. To have that twin connection. People we'd love to go after, I would love to go after somebody the likes of Bobby Portis. I think he would fit perfect with this squad. Upgrade, our wing position too. If we can try to trade for somebody like Michael Porter Jr., which is somewhat unlikely, I don't think will happen, but that would be perfect. And I will say too, Ben Simmons, I know everybody rolls their eyes when I say that, but he would be a wing that runs point. I think he would fit great. Now again, you have him and Sabonis who can't really shoot, but very, smart IQ players. And if you surround them with shooters, which is, you could call Fox a shooter now, I believe. Fox, Herter, Keegan Murray, and maybe Chris or whoever, and then just, again, you can mix the lineups a little bit. I think Ben Simmons would be great, and because he brings defense, that's the biggest point. So talk about Bobby Portis too. We have such a huge weakness in defense right now that we need big-bodied, physical wings / fours, even a five. Even if the Lakers get rid of Mo Bamba, I would still take a flyer on him too. If the Magic get rid of Jonathan Isaac, I would take a flyer on him too. Guys that can block shots, maybe shoot a three, here and there. If we can pry away Steven Adams from the Grizzlies, that would be incredible. Yes, he's not a shooter, but that's the most physical guy you can find in the NBA. That guy's a mammoth. Now, I don't know how him and Sabonis would fit together. Maybe they can play on and off from each other, but man, he would be such a big giant. We need a shot blocker so bad. Love Sabonis, but he gets eaten up in the paint. Man, he would be fantastic. You have a guy like Crowder who could shoot threes. He's physical. He's a bigger guy too. I would not mind him as well. Even if we get somebody with the likes of Zach LaVine, yeah, that would take away. That would, unless they run a 3-guard lineup. He don't play a lot of defense, but he's such a scorer. He could light up our squad even more if Fox is hurt or somebody of that matter. There's a lot of guys we can go after. I'd love to go out. Naz Reid from the Timberwolves. God, that would be great to get him. Great rebounder. He can hit shots. He's a big physical guy. Naz Reid would be so good for this squad too. And I would still go after Mason Plumlee if his deal is not. I believe it's going to be up with the Clippers unless he has one more year. Another great guy that can complement Sabonis. Again, all these guys I'm listing are big physical guys that can rebound. Some of them can shoot, but mainly block shots. We got to improve this defense really bad. We need it. We need it really bad. I hear Jalen Green from the Rockets is up to trade for a star player. I don't see us doing that. We're not going to get rid of our young stars for an even younger star, and they don't really play defense either. So there's a bunch of guys that we can go after. We can get better with. It remains to be seen. I hope we can do it. I hope we can make some really good trades. I even heard Karl Anthony Towns might be on the trade block. There's just a lot of guys that are in limbo right now that might be asking for a trade. We might have guys that want to go to the Kings now because of our resurgence this year. We did better this year, and I hope that's the case. You have Kuzma said he loved Sacramento. He loved the atmosphere in the playoffs. He loves the beam. He's not much of a defender, but he's a big body that can score as well. Sometimes we need that spark. We need that spark. Monk can't be the only spark. Davion can't really hit shots too well, but he's a spark because he plays good D, and he can hit shots occasionally. But I like Davion a lot. He did great in the playoffs. Should have played more in the 7th game, if I'm being real honest. But yeah, there's just so many players we can go after that can fit the timeline, that can fit the system, and I hope we can just make this squad better. I expect it. In Monty, we trust. Let's go after it. Let's win a playoff series. Our next step, we made it to the playoffs, now to win a series. Let's do this.